Yes, team, and welcome back to the podcast. We are joined by the absolute A-grade client and rock star that is Kirsty. How are you today, Kirsty? You well?
I'm really good, thank you. And you?
I'm not too bad. We were literally just talking before. Obviously, we started about how you've got the Big Island walk coming up, which is going to be an interesting one. And I will be a little bit jealous because you will have done it before me when you complete it.
Yeah, considering I don't live on the island of Jersey, it'd be nice to actually kind of go, oh, I've done that, and then come back to the smaller island.
Completed it. It's funny. I was having a look at I want my next big challenge, and I saw something called I think it's the 5 Islands Ultra. So you do 3 days. You do all around Jersey, which is like 48 miles or so. Day 1. Day 2, you do all around Guernsey, which is like 38 or something like that, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then 3rd day, you do Sark, Herm, and Alderney in the same day. Just the lap of it.
No, that's too much. That's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh, that sounds a bit interesting, but maybe later down the line. Okay. But I really, really appreciate you kind of jumping on and sharing some of your wisdom and talking about your journey here. Do you want to just give everyone a little bit of an introduction, like who are you, where are you from, what do you do for work and things?
Yeah, well, obviously my name's Kirsty. I live on Guernsey, Channel Islands, smaller of the two. I'm a receptionist for a captive insurance firm, so office-based job, been doing it for about 10 years. So not a lot of movement, considering as beforehand I used to be a chef, so I used to move all the time. And then obviously sold to finance and just, sit at a desk and not be happy sometimes because you're a bit like, you're not moving. It's, the weather could be great and you're stuck behind, your desk, sat at a computer screen all day.
Yeah, absolutely. It comes with its own set of challenges, at least. The thing is, everyone thinks I'm the fitness guy now, but I'm also now, I work online. I literally basically work a desk job now.
Yeah.
I get you. But do you want to give everyone a bit of a background? Like, how did you get into training? What's your kind of training history?
I mean, I've always loved fitness and I've always liked having new challenges and setting myself goals and stuff. But I mean, I'd have a big wobble. I used to join the gyms, pay for memberships and never go. Or I'd used to, get in the gym, just do cardio because, being a novice to it at the beginning, like years ago, I'd never go in the weight section, never pick up a set of dumbbells, never go near squat racks or anything. So you're like, no, that's the guy's area of the gym. Like, I just wouldn't touch it. So you kind of get a little bit defeated, and then, I'd cancel a membership and 6 months later I'll pick it up again and do the whole same routine of a cycle for a good couple of years. And then I think I had a bit of a massive rocky patch, mentally and personally, and fitness went out the window. I stopped really moving, ate more, was miserable, hated myself, hate looking at myself. And then something snapped in me. I think I just looked at myself in the mirror one day and went, I can't do this anymore. I need to, sort my eating out, get back in the gym, do something and start moving again because I was just unhappy.
Yeah, absolutely. And what other kind of effect was it having on you at that time?
I think for family being around me, I was miserable, I was grouchy, I was really unpleasant to be around. I wasn't a happy person. I would just, sit in the corner or sit in my room, just not really talking, lock myself away, just be really unsociable. Or if I'd go out, I'd, end up drinking too much to try and, fit in or try and be more lively. And it's just got to a point of going, it's not a healthy position to be in anymore. And I was just like, I needed a good change.
Yeah, that's really strange for and I know Elle would say the same thing to hear now, because you just seem like such a light-hearted, bubbly, fun, outgoing kind of person from how we know you. So to hear that and see where you are now is absolutely incredible. Yeah. What was it that kind of made you, do you remember, was there a specific time and you were like, this is it, I need to make a change?
I think it's probably before COVID and lockdown. I think I kind of was getting to the point of going, my weight had gone up massively. And I was just looking in the mirror. I think I was sat in my room, I was doing something and going, I've just got, no challenges. I wasn't doing anything. So I think at that point, I was just looking at, I need to, get back into the gym. I need to start moving again, just start, getting happier, because being in a rut of just doing absolutely nothing, just eating, thinking, oh, I'm not going to put on weight, I'm just going to eat for the sake of it. And then you look at yourself, your clothes don't fit. And I think trying on clothes like made me really go, no, I want to fit in this again, start doing something now. Don't wait 6 months, because you'll never do it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's a really interesting point, because I speak to so many people on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and they say a very similar thing, but they'll just start wearing baggier clothes to kind of hide away from it,
Yeah.
rather than you have foresight to kind of go, no, like, what if you was to speak to someone right now, knowing what you know, going what you've gone through, and they were maybe kind of just not wearing the clothes that they wanted to, like they knew that it was going to be a bit tight, that, oh no, I'll just feel more comfortable in it. What would you say to them?
I think it's just going, doesn't matter if, certain things don't fit right now, because, they will. And it's just kind of having the confidence to still do it, still, push yourself to, fit in it. And, sometimes that you necessarily don't think it looks right, but other people can see you in something and go, you look really good and it fits you and it's perfect. But I think psychologically in your own head, you're the one that tells yourself it doesn't. So I'd like ignore the noise in your head, because, you'll look great, but just, cut that little person out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so funny. You know what? I always bring it back to like, you've got the devil and the angel on your shoulders. Okay. And I think it's learning when to listen to them and when to like shut them off and quiet down, to say the least. But it's been an incredible kind of 6-7 months, obviously, on the program. I'm always interested. Is there anything you were kind of skeptical about before you joined the program?
I think like a little bit. You kind of get all the hype of like, you see, online coaches and stuff like on Instagram, a lot of stuff, and you're kind of going, is it what they say on the tin? Does it work? Is it just hype? Are they just doing it for, get more cash in their pocket? And, do they really care about people that they work for? So you're kind of going into it going, is it going to work? Am I just going to do this and go, oh, well, I've just, lost so much money and not got anything from it? Where it's the complete opposite. Like, you guys are there 24/7, you're helpful, you're perfect. And you are what you say, like you do what you do. And, without you guys, we wouldn't be where we are.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And I didn't pay it to say that, by the way, guys. I really, really didn't. When it comes to, obviously, I know you've worked with personal trainers and people in person, and obviously now you've had the online experience. What would you say are like the pros and cons of either of them? And which do you feel has been the most beneficial for you, and why?
I think pros and cons, like pros of having a guy face to face of a PT is, they're there like to physically push you, and like they'll put the weights in your hands. And, I think sometimes having someone not shout at you, but have kind of going, right, okay, you can do one more. I think especially when you're starting out is a massive help. But cons, you can get a little bit slack when you're on your own, or, that you could turn their back for a second and you can go, oh yeah, no, I've done like 6 reps. And like you can kind of cheat it a little bit. Whereas I think when you do it with an online coach, if you don't do something properly, like you're only cheating yourself. So I think it's more, I think for me, beneficial having you guys online, because, you want to, make you guys proud and make yourselves proud. So you kind of feel that you push yourself that little bit more. Like, whereas, before you look at a set of dumbbells and go, oh no, I wouldn't lift that in a million years. Or if my like physical PT said, do a 15K chest press, you'll look at him and go, no. Whereas now you'll look at them and go, okay, I'm going to smash it, and like see how many you can do. And I think that's what your mindset changes. And I think having you guys online and being at the end of the phone is almost like being there in person.
I completely agree. I think that's the biggest concern that people have, is like, oh, I'm not going to be able to push myself. But it's like, especially in the beginning of like a transformation or a weight loss journey, you don't actually have to train that hard. You just need to turn up and dial in your nutrition. But then once you turn up, you start to get excited by the progression that you start to see in your workouts, because we teach you how to progress your training. And also you like hitting these PBs, you like seeing yourself get stronger. The biggest thing for me though is, like, I would say to everyone, like, do you want to become reliant on a personal trainer for the rest of your life?
No.
Probably not. Okay. Like, let's teach you how to do this on your own. And I'm 100% confident, I hope you are as well, but by the time we finish our journey together, you will never need another coach again. Never.
Yeah, I think it's that thing as well. Like, you don't want to be paying for like a PT all the time and a coach and stuff all the time. But it's nice having the accountability of you guys there. That when you need the help, like at the moment, you're just you send the videos across, and it's like I was like tweak this, do that, and it's not like a telling off going, oh my God, you're doing this so wrong. It's the nice guidance and the friendly way of like putting it out there, of going, well, you're not doing this completely right, do it like this. And I think it's just that side of it is awesome because you're always there no matter how big or how small, even if it's not even gym related and stuff. It's great to have you guys at the end of the phone.
Yeah. It's the support and the accountability of having someone in your corner. Like,
Yeah.
I've been a coach for 10 years. I still have my own coach because, one, you can delegate the thought process behind it, and you don't become like you don't start kind of playing to your own strengths or playing to your own weaknesses or whatever it might be. But also, we all need a degree of accountability. I always say the story of accountability creates habits. Like, all of our parents as kids, they tell us to brush our teeth. As adults, we don't even think about brushing our teeth. It just becomes who you are and what you do. It's exactly the same goal when it comes to your training, nutrition, and all of those factors. If we give you external accountability, we're there for you, we support you. Sometimes it's being really nice and empathetic with people, and I've got other people that we give an absolute freaking kick up the arse to. But that's where it comes down to like coaching the individual and really making sure that what we do is personalized for you. But tell me, like, what are the kind of biggest breakthroughs that you've had kind of across things? Like, what would you say the biggest takeaway or biggest lesson that you've learned when it comes to training is?
I think knowing that I can do something, and even if I fail, that I can just get back up and just try again. It's knowing that I've always said to myself that there's no such thing as can't. Can't is a word that doesn't exist. And I think that's like the biggest takeaway of knowing that, I can squat and do deadlifts and like hitting a massive 100K hip thrust, which I never thought I'd do in a million years. But it's knowing that there's these goals that I would go, I'm not doing that. You look at people do it and you're like, that, yeah, it's too heavy. I can't. And now I'm like, no, just get that word out your head. It doesn't work. It's just going, I'll try. If I fail, I'll just go lighter next week and, build it. So I think it's just knowing that you can do something, but it just, it takes time. It's a development. It's learning the process, learning how to, lift properly. So I think that's my takeaway is just, keep going.
Absolutely. I love that. And I think as human beings, we're amazing at putting glass ceilings on ourselves, saying, oh, I can only do that. I can't do anything more. But the further I get in both my own training and like perspective, if someone told me I'd do an Ironman, I literally would have laughed in their face a couple of years ago. But it's the same thing what you said there. You never would have thought in your life that you ever could have done a 100 kilo hip thrust. But you smashed it within such a short period of training when you know the right plan to follow, you've got the support, and also you keep your promises to yourself. You turn up and you just progress these little bit at a time. And all of a sudden, these small little wins compound into something. And you look back and you go, holy shit, I did that. You go, yeah. So,
Because I think it's like I look at it sometimes and think you'll see other people that are lifting heavier like all the time and they're putting like more weights on it and doing it so quickly. And I think even though I've been doing it like little bits at a time, you're building up that strength a lot more rather than just going, I'm just going to put on 100K straight away and then end up injuring myself. Whereas, put like a little 1.25 on and then, adding it up slowly, you end up getting there quicker than someone that just goes straight in 100% thinking, oh, yeah, no, I can do it fine.
100%. I honestly think that's the biggest mistake people make to their training. And I always say this, if you just added a 1.25, that's 2.5 kilos every single week, and you added that to your lift every week for 10 weeks, you add 25 kilos to your lift. That's crazy. Okay.
It's
And
a
adding,
lot.
it's huge. Like, for most people, that could be adding 25, 35, 40, even 50% to their lift. Okay. But like adding 25 kilos, someone go, whoa, I can't do that. But if you say, yeah, just add 1.25, that's it. Just add 1.25.
Because that number doesn't sound big. It's just like little. Like you say 20 kilos and you're like, ooh, that's heavy.
Consistency compounds over time massively. How about nutrition?
that I think for me is like my biggest takeaway, because my nutrition used to be shocking. Like I used to have to like write things down with like an old PT and stuff, and used to fluff it and lie and go, yeah, no, I'm eating things that you're telling me, and you just end up falling off the wagon because it's like, right, stick to this, and you're going, well, I don't want to, or I don't like anything. Whereas like now, like with tracking every day and doing it properly, and eating the right things, and you're enjoying the fact that planning your week, which I used to hate and used to think it was a massive faff when I started. I was like, oh, planning's a pain in the ass. But now every Sunday I'm like, right, let's plan it out, let's write it down, let's prep for like the first couple of days of the week. And never in my wildest dreams would I done that before. I'd be like, yeah, I'll just wake up in the morning and pack something. Whereas now I've got
Mhm.
structure. I always eat breakfast. I've always got lunch. I've always got like my mid-morning snack. And I used to, as before, I'd skip meals and say I've eaten and then binge at work. Now I very rarely binge. And if I do, it's good stuff rather than the snack cupboard in the office or at home and have more glasses of wine. Whereas some that you do, but now I'm like, oh no, I don't want a glass of wine. I'd rather, just drink water, which is I never thought I'd say.
Yeah, which is it's crazy, but I absolutely love this. And so tell me if I'm right, previously were you trying more like of a meal plan based approach where it's like, hey, just stick to this?
Yeah, it was very much going, right, this is what you're going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 7 days. And I think that was just too structured. Whereas like now it's kind of going, right, these are your calories, this is protein like targets to hit, stick within that, and I'll go in the shop now and read packets and stuff and going, okay, well that's good protein, and or that's like not so good. Whereas before you just pick it up and if it says protein, you're like, oh yeah, you're winning. But now I'm very more
Mhm.
like methodical with what I eat. I mean, sometimes it's very samey, but I like it and I enjoy it. So I think if it works and it's sticking for it, then why change something?
I completely agree. And you know what? There's been a research study that was done recently. On average, humans eat the same 10 meals. So I say this to people, all we've got to do is find 10 meals that you enjoy. If we found
Yeah,
3 breakfasts, even 2 breakfasts, like let's be honest, okay, 2 breakfasts you like, 2 lunches you like, 2 snacks you like, and then we get you 4 different dinners. So you can have your novelty around kind of that evening meal, which is what I'd always recommend. Like finding 10 meals sounds pretty easy. But I think this is the
yeah.
biggest thing with people's fitness journeys. They just try to overcomplicate it and do too much. Simple scales, okay? Keep it simple, and that's how you then can stay consistent. Out of interest, how long does it take you to like plan or track your food, say per day?
Per day, not long. I'll probably say 20 minutes on a Sunday when I do pretty much the whole week. So I think because I stick to like, the same breakfast all week, and then, my lunches are generally the same, it doesn't take me too long because a lot of it's just like copying it from days before or weeks before. So I think that gives me like a rough idea. And dinners, I think, are a little bit harder to track because with living at home and stuff still, that we eat as a family, so it's very hard to minimize the good foods or the portion sizes. But I'm trying to help everyone at home from what I've learned from like you guys and other people in the group to help my family to kind of eat better, because they want to try, so you're kind of doing it as a family rather than on your own.
It's so powerful. You don't realize how much of an impact your journey can have on the people around you.
Mm.
When you start to eat better, like people start to ask you about stuff. Oh, why are you doing that? Like, oh, you're doing it. What are you doing here? And it's amazing how much you can inspire people just from your own actions. And I know obviously you've spoken about setting up your own like your Instagram page and things like that.
Yeah,
It was an amazing idea because it gives you accountability. Okay, that's full transparency. That's one of the reasons I started mine. It was just accountability in a way to help inspire people. And you also never know kind of how things end up changing. I think this is such a big takeaway for people that everyone thinks planning takes ages. If you say it takes 20 minutes on a Sunday, you can probably do it whilst you're sat on the sofa watching telly to plan your pretty much your whole week of
yeah.
nutrition. Then I bet to track your dinners is like maybe 5 minutes here and there, like if that.
I mean, it's literally kind of, I think, especially for me when it comes to dinners, like you will go home and it'll be like, right, we're having this for tea. Okay, that's great. I'll end up cooking it and then, weighing it out. And before, my mum and dad used to be like, well, why are you weighing out food? I was like, oh, so it's, easier to track, you know what you're eating, and you can have more of something and less of something else. And, you eat more of the good foods and stuff. So you're doing it for them, and they used to find it really bizarre. But now, because I do it so much, they're used to it. They don't look at me
Yeah.
like
And I
I'm
also,
exceedingly strange.
yeah, 100%. That's like a generational thing I've seen as well. Like I remember when I first started tracking, my parents were like, if you got like a food issue or something like here, like disordered eating, and I'm like, no, I'm just like want to know what I'm putting into my body so that I can then make the changes and essentially reach my goals. But it's funny, like they probably questioned it, and then now they're starting to see the changes in like your mood, your energy, like your body, your fitness, all these things. They're like, hey, yeah, keep going, like you're crushing it, well done.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times I go home and like as families do, like they take the mick and stuff. And my brother keeps going to me like, "Will you stop losing weight?" And I'm like, "Soon." It's like, "No, not yet." But it's kind of like they see it and they're kind of going, you're inspiring them because you're moving and you're doing what you say you're doing. You're not kind of go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to the gym," and then not turn up. I mean, they think I'm mad when my alarm goes off at 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the gym, but it's my routine. It's what I love doing, but it's something that I won't change.
Yeah. And I think there's something so powerful in that. You just have to find what works for you. And hey, I'm the same as you. I'm up at like 4:35, something like that. Not quite 4. But that works for me and it works for you. It doesn't work for someone else. You have to find what you work and then just guard that time and be super like disciplined about it. So let's just kind of get into some of the nitty gritties. Like what are the kind of specific results that you kind of achieved realistically kind of from this year so far?
I think this year massively is, seeing my weight come down, of like hitting like the next set of, the milestones of being ticked off. Body confidence has kind of gone through the roof of, taking photos again and being happy with it. Like clothes fitting that I've not worn in like 5 years. I mean, I need to buy an entire new wardrobe now because I've been 5 bags of clothes over the weekend, so I now have nothing to wear. But I think like
God damn it.
it's just a really bad problem to have being a girl shopping. But I think it's
Oh no.
just being able to like the confidence and stuff through me is just it's through the roof. And like this year is just a completely another level. Like the way I hold myself and I walk around and smiling a lot more and just I don't recognize it anymore. Like I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh, who are you?
It's amazing. I absolutely love that. And also, I was just looking at doing some maths there. You've lost over 15% of your body weight since Christmas.
Jeez, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. That's insane. Okay, and that's why I don't like to kind of throw like metrics out to people because it's very hard. Like you can say someone's lost 10 kilos, but to put that in perspective of other people, but when you actually work out as a percentage, like 15% of your body weight is huge. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's not just the fact you've lost 15%. You're way stronger than you were, way fitter than you are, have control and understanding around both your training and nutrition. You've also now managed to build a system that really works for you. So I don't know about you, but I'm super excited to see where we've gone from good to great. Now we go from great to legendary. And then we go from legendary to I don't even know what's next, but I'm excited to see where we go. Okay. What would you say? Sorry, go on.
I just think as well, like I never expected to do like what I'm doing or get to where I've got. I thought, I'd lose the weight, kind of get to where I was about 5, 6 years ago and go, okay, yeah, I'm fine now. I can stop and just not do anything. But now, like, seeing the goals and hitting stuff in the gym, I'm just like going, I want to do more. I want to go from like good to like freaking exceptional. Like, I don't want to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. You get a taste for it, but I always say your fitness journey and like quite often your transformation journey is what kind of unlocks confidence, because often it's the first time that people keep them promised to themselves. Because how many people have said, I'm going to lose weight, don't do it. I'm going to go to the gym, don't do it. It chips away at your confidence the more you do it. And not having lower confidence, that's when you really start to put not just ceilings on yourself, but you lower them even more. When you keep your promise to yourself, you lose this weight, you break through that glass ceiling, you realize that if you do the work and you stay consistent and you have the right people around you, you can literally achieve anything. and it
Yeah.
becomes exciting what you can achieve.
It is amazing. And, you know, the group and everyone's around to support you. So you're never alone either.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, look, I can say behalf of myself and the whole AS team and everyone out there, we're incredibly proud of you and excited for the next steps. What would you say to someone maybe in the position that you were when you first started?
I think it's, you know, you can achieve anything that you want. And like I said earlier, ignore the little voices that tell you that you can't, and just like self-believe in yourself, knowing that you can do it. It takes time. Not every day's a great day, but as long as, you know, each day you do something better than the day before is a massive win. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter if, you know, you go to the gym for 5 minutes and walk out, because you've still shown up, you've still gone, you've still trying. And, you know, for me, from starting back in November to now is a massive shift. And it's just believing in yourself and trusting everyone that's around you and opening up to support, because you're not alone at all, whether it's like coaches or everyone in the group.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. And give me 3 words to describe your experience through the program over the last few months.
Oh, jeepers.
I put you on the spot with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, you have. I'm now like staring outside going, I don't know, I think like, you know, confidence wise is massive. Like my own self-belief, I think, is another. And, you know, yeah, just like trust, I think, is like 3 words of like, you know, not only for me, but for everyone.
Huge, huge. Well, team, make sure we leave Kirsty some love in the comments below, because it takes a lot of confidence and to put yourself out there and do something like this. So credit where credit is due. You've come across incredibly well, and I know you're an absolute inspiration. So thank you very much. Also, I'll drop her new Instagram in the comments below. So let's get Kirsty some new followers, team. Catch you later. Bye.
Bye.